Manoj, he's just joking around. He's one of those guys who's done all his homework, doesn't tell anybody, and everybody else is thinking he's chilling, so we'll also chill. But he's the guy who's getting the first rank. And Raj is like a chameleon. You can put him as a bad guy, a hero, a romantic, gangster. You can do whatever you want with him. Yes, sir. Raj, somehow I find you funny in whatever you do. Manoj the pakka gun only.
Yeah.
Apart, I would give Gulaab. Shahid also has done a lot of romance. Both will grab roses,
Gulaab.
I think he's
Director's actor.
suave and understated.
Adarsh is dangerous.
Surprisingly unique.
When I figure out Gulshan, I'll let you know.
You know, our favorite panadhari Tipu, कहर मचने वाला है.
Is romanchak.
Pulp.
The idea was to make a really fun series to kind of be maybe an out of the box series in terms of the fact that the content that's out there in drama and investigative series and even what we have done before, The Family Man and all, just want to get away from all of it and make a very light-hearted series, a more fun series with mixture of genres. It goes from thriller to humor to romance to revenge and surreal and all kinds of things are in it. And it's just, so we just wanted to let loose, just wanted to be free and kind of, it's a, a free flow of things that we wanted to do. But there was a structure in it. There was a really lot of hard work in terms of structuring it such a way that it peaks, that it slowly starts to take off and the characters start to unravel themselves. So very exciting series, pretty much the most fun we've had making anything in a long time. Rajkumar was our first choice.
Coming to the cast, I mean, Rajkumar was always the choice for the show. So that, and of course, I mean, we worked with him before, so we were not surprised with what he's capable of doing. So we always knew what he's capable of doing. So he was the first choice. And Gulshan Devaya, we were thinking very hard for that. It's a very special role of Atma Ram, and we were thinking who do we get for it? And we had done one short film with Gulshan Devaya before, and suddenly it occurred was that he would be perfect for it because he has this very strange, bizarre personality himself, but he also has very strange way of playing it, and you know he's always a little unpredictable.
Brings a
in
good
how he
edge
plays it.
to what he does.
He's
Unpredictable.
edgy.
We had to pull him by his teeth to make this, to act in this.
And for Dulquer, it was kind of like a little bit of a sudden last minute thought that came because we didn't think about Dulquer at that point. We were actually thinking
It was set in a different place,
set in a
it was set in
different
a
part of the
different
country, and
country.
yeah,
And now it made sense, and suddenly we called Dulquer, and he was sweet enough to jump in. In fact, actually, he was very interesting to see how he molded himself into the character as we shot. One of the toughest things to do because you're really just fresh in and you're just submitting yourself to the makers and said, let's see what happens.
yeah, he had the least amount of time to prepare for the role because even he had to hit the ground running and try to come to terms with the character in the first couple of days of shooting and with long discussions with us on how we see the character, how he sees the character. So for him, he had to hit the ground running. The others, and Adarsh, of course, Adarsh is an actor who loves to spend time and live and think and dream and eat and sleep his character. So he likes to do that.
If the reaction to, Monica Oh My Darling and Guns and Gulaabs is anything to go by, I would recommend, the retro flavor for everyone. But I think if I think from the perspective of the audience, I think there's no, you can't replicate success. That's not the way we commission. I think we commission to really bring fresh new ideas, diverse stories, surprising elements Guns and Gulaabs is filled with Easter eggs. You can never tell कि आगे क्या होने वाला है, अब इस character की journey क्या होने वाली है. It's a journey of surprises which slowly sort of takes you on a path of discovery towards the climax, which I'm not going to say anything about, but it's something that you will not be able to sort of unhook from. So distinct flavors are important to audience. I mean, the audience should know what they're sort of, really buying into, whether it's retro, whether it's contemporary, whether it's epic. it's really about the journey that the filmmakers take you. So if you look at Archie's, it suspends you in a world, and Guns and Gulaabs does exactly the same. And Hira Mandi will take you even further back into the, pre-independent India. So I don't think we commission saying that we want to step into an era. We may. We have very few hard-coded rules when we sort of look at commissioning. We really go by what's best for our slate, what's great for Netflix, and what's most importantly, what's good for our audience.
Manoj the pakka gun only for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can give Gulaabs to
Yeah, if you
Manoj.
give him a gulab, he will.
Use it as a gun.
Yeah, he'll use it as a gun or throw it back on your face and grab the gun.
Okay.
वो हो ही जाएगा.
Apar I would give Gulab. He's such a sweetheart.
But Apar feels like he would take a gulab, but
Yeah, but as a person, is a very, very sweet
True.
person. Ayushman, of course, can have one gun in one hand and Gulab in the other.
Correct.
Saif, I'll give a gun.
Okay.
Even though he's done enough romance, so I'll give him a gun.
Okay.
Shahid also has done a lot of romance. But for us, he's fuzzy. So, we'll
we just have to give him a bundle of cash, I think.
both will grab roses.
Gulab.
But Dulkar doesn't want to grab roses anymore. He told me specifically, no more roses.
Only guns.
So I'll have to trust guns.
But they find their way to him.
Yeah, okay, that's a personal question. It doesn't necessarily have to be the, be the answer of the audience or for the audience. See, I think I personally had maximum fun in shooting Go Goa Gone on the film front.
It showed.
Huh?
It showed.
Yeah. No, but yeah, thank you. Because it was like, it's one of those films where you don't have to take yourself seriously, and whatever you think is a wild idea, you can go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to shooting series, of course, I mean, each series is different, and we've had a lot of fun in shooting all these series. But this one, Guns and Gulabs, particularly is one of those series where, again, we felt like we could just go with the flow, do whatever fun idea that comes along, or something crazy that we think we wouldn't think 10 times about doing it elsewhere is something that can very easily happen in Guns and Gulabs. So that way, again, from a shooting perspective, it was a lot of fun.
I really loved Shore in the City, shooting Shore in
in
the
the
City, because it was the most real series, real filmmaking we've done. Very hands-on, very real locations, and just extremely tough days each day. But there's beauty in that. For series, the most fun, of course, was Guns and Gulabs, because it's just letting loose, right? It's just we're doing whatever we want. It's just fun that way.
It's also, I think, something to do with being transported out of Mumbai, where we've been shooting for so many years. Right. So I think
the
going
whole
out
thing.
now in a remote, isolated location.
Yes.
I'm taking that question as a question where what was fun to shoot, not what's my favorite film or series, so, which I'm not going to answer. Exceptionally talented actors. I mean, amazing that at the end of it, you just give them a scene and they'll always surprise you. Manoj, for example, in season 2, for a brief moment, I could see him being pensive, which he usually is not. He's just joking around. He's one of those guys who's done all his homework, doesn't tell anybody, and everybody else is thinking he's chilling, so we'll also chill. But he's the guy who's getting the first rank. So, no, but he's also a really good co-actor. He really helps the absolutely no insecurity in terms of working with any other co-actor. Even a day player comes who, just for a day, he actually rehearses with him and asks him to react in such a way that he's schooling him on the side. And I'm like, sure, let him do his thing. So, so that way so he was kind of pensive, lost in thought for a couple of days in season 2, because he was finding himself in a territory where he hasn't been before, because this is a sequel. It's like part 2.
Yeah.
And how do I do something more in part 2 when you already know my character 360?
Yeah.
So that was nice to see how he was trying to do nuances on top of the same character. It's not a new character, right? So that was very beautiful to see him transform and try and do those things, how people caught it. And Raj is like a chameleon. You can put him as a bad guy, a hero, a romantic, a gangster, You can do whatever you want with him. I've always told him, even when I met him for Stree first time when we were working, I said, Raj, somehow I find you funny in whatever you do. He said, what does it mean? I said, I think I mean fun, that you make even a bad guy seem fun to watch. So, I had seen Omerta or something at that point, and I said, even the serious scenes I'm watching you, there's something exciting and fun to see you play it. So, because Stree was an out and out comedic role in a way, I guess, for him. So, this question, even Kunal came and asked me when I told him initially. At that point, he was playing. He was doing his films, and he said, do you really see me as a slacker, as a stoner, like a dope head? I said, yeah, I do. I know you haven't done it, but I can see you play it in Go Go Gone. So, yeah, I mean, most of these actors, we could somehow see something they hadn't done before.
90s was special. I mean, I was growing up. It feels really far back, but I don't think it's that far back also. I think what I liked about the 90s is that there were no mobile phones. And actually the first time we spoke about this idea, what Raj also said is, this is pre-mobile phone era. And everything just becomes clear with that. Because I think while we are all addicted to our mobile phones today, I think they take away the drama of life.
Right.
They make life very simple. So, if you have to deliver a message, and you'll see that in the show, पैदल जाना पड़ता है या लूना पे जाना पड़ता है जिसका फ्यूल खत्म हो सकता है या कुछ भी हो सकता है. तो I think that's very simple drama with just taking out one device is what I really miss, and they've explored that idea to the maximum.
Actually, yeah, that is, I remember that, and also that non-mobile part of it makes the whole show, if you think about it, every particular plot or scene, you put a phone in that scene doesn't exist.
Correct.
I mean, the biggest difference from 1990 to even 2000 is there were mobile phones, there were no mobile phones. That's the biggest difference. And it only got more and more advanced now. We have social media, we have instant connectivity, even more so than it was in 2010 or even in 2000. But like once in a lifetime, big jumps happened, right, in the world.
We've got scenes.
Like before there were mechanized vehicles, or after there are mechanized vehicles. Like that, mobile phones is one of the defining things.
Internet and computer, big deals, right? Internet and mobile
Actually,
phones.
one of my favorite, and the one that I relate to the most, maybe I should just say it, I won't give the context, is, you remember those STD booths
gonna say,
with the meter?
Yes.
We've all, seen that meter going, and then you want to finish your conversation before you have to repeat the call or whatever. It has lent to so much humor. Right. I mean, Gulshan's entire character of Atmaram is actually, built out of those simplicities and quirks from that time. It's an enjoyable one. So,
imagine an antagonist to a fearful guy, and you actually like the guy.
And which actor? We've given a huge ode to Sanjay Dutt through Atmaram's character. I think he was definitive of the
very
time.
90s.
Yeah, very 90s image. But of course, Shah Rukh ruled the 90s. His charm and, diversity, actually, I think no one can escape that.
Yeah.
So both of them, I would say.
Of course, everybody is Shah Rukh Khan is like, you can't, he made it. The Bollywood was Shah Rukh Khan at that point.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, actually, this show is set in 90.
Right.
So it is essentially more about the 80s. Right? About hence, which is why you see more of a Papi Lahiri, more of a Sanjay Dutt,
Yes.
More of maybe a Govinda kind of vibe in it than, say, a Shah Rukh Khan, which is very 90s. So this is the starting point of the Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Amir Khan era, which that is where the start of the romantic cinema and a different kind of music and a different kind of cinema started.
We give a little ode to Sachin also, right?
Sachin was a kid who just started playing, like right around the time.
Tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's crazily versatile.
I think he's instinctively quirky.
Dulquer's character is mysteriously sexy.
Director's actor.
He's suave and understated.
Adarsh is unintentionally dangerous.
Best kept secret.
methodical and dedicated.
Just super cool.
Surprisingly unique.
When I figure out Gulshan, I'll let you know.
In the words of, our favorite Panadhari Tipu, कहर मचने वाला है.
In one word. Okay, one word is romanchak.
Pulp.